could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Captain Jack Spearo. Welcome back to the adventure. Today we're doing a local mission and I'm gonna try out my new spear gun. I got a Blue Tech Bastard 120 centimeter double band carbon fiber handmade in Greece. I picked this bad boy up from Spear America, spearfishing experts down in Fort Lauderdale. So go ahead and check them out and always use the link in my description below to get 10% off your order. So we're gonna do a local trip, mostly going for pelagics, doing some blue water offshore fishing, a little deeper. I'm excited I get to take you on this adventure and I will see you guys out there on the water. So I am so excited to try this new gun. I've been using the Rob Allen roller for probably 4 years now, and I kind of wanted to switch back to something more traditional, and this is a perfect day to do just that. We hop in the water, there's plenty of life around, and so we're excited to start the day off. So being that this is my first time using the gun, I have yet to shoot it. I really wanted to test it out on a local trip just like this one. And I'm talking first thing I see, I'm gonna shoot it. Well, first thing I see that's legal at least. So I go ahead and make this drop. I'm making my way down the flashers, and when you're diving like this, it was kind of murky and hazy on the top, but if you go down past the murk, usually it opens up just like this. You can see bottom. I'm able to see bottom there, and I see some yellowtail snapper off in the distance. Now they're decent size ones, but these things are really hard to close the gap on. But these ones actually decided to give me a shot. I descend super calmly, act like I'm a piece of debris, and I landed a shot, and that was probably as far as I would want to shoot one of these fish. And having that be my first freaking shot with this gun, I am so stoked because I don't think I've ever shot a yellowtail locally with this spear gun. So I'm pretty amped up on this, and not bad for the first time I ever shoot this gun. Now you can see Joey making a dive, seeing if there's anything else, if he needs to put a backup shot. Highly recommend making a drop, and also other fish could come up to the commotion.
Bro, laser. That was like a 20-foot shot. Hell yeah. That was like a 20-foot shot. Right through the gill plate. Dude, that's a heck of a...
Now I have been waiting to shoot a yellowtail because I want to cook them whole, and I love doing that when you're in the water. You can use the scales and the guts as chum, and you kind of get back to the resource, and you basically have your fish clean and ready.
Straight in the cooler. Ready to cook.
All right, so honestly, this is my first yellowtail with the spear gun. I've shot them in the Bahamas with pole spear, but it doesn't look huge, but it's a good size one. These don't get like massive, and I absolutely lasered him with that freaking Blue Tech right through the gill plate. Super stoked. I already scaled him, gutted him, and I'm gonna probably rip the head off, and I'm gonna whole cook him. And the skin on this is gonna be so good, nice and moist. Woo! Pumped about this. Hell yeah. So we got back in the water. I'm pretty amped up. I got one fish in the box, and I make a drop. You can see me, I see a kingfish right there off in the distance, but he's going up current. There's no way I'm gonna chase after him, but I'm kind of waiting mid-water column, hoping for some pelagics, or if a mutton comes up off the bottom, or if I spot something, I can drop down, maybe get a shot on him, because you don't really want to hold bottom here, because the current is absolutely pumping. If you hold bottom, your divers can drift way past you, and Joey's down there with me, and he does kind of what I was aiming to do. He saw a stud hogfish, and he absolutely rolls him. You see him go white side up, and we were pretty amped up. Freaking stone shot on this stud hog, so I'll see you at the surface whenever we take a look at this big guy. Joey got a stud hog. That's a good Palm Beach hog, dude. Nice male. He's probably like 20 inches. They gotta be 16?
Oh yeah.
That's a good fish. Yeah, how did you shoot him? Probably like 80, 90?
Like 85, 90, yeah, right.
Yeah, I was right above you. I saw a kingfish, and I caught the tail end of you like just rolling him, just straight up.
Absolutely rolling.
Nice shot, dude. Primo. Look at that. Hell yeah.
Doesn't get better than that.
Good stuff. So now we're going to some deeper stuff, and Joey made a drop, and he shot his gun off, and I had no idea what he shot, so I'm waiting for a scouting report once I get to the surface.
No shit.
So I don't know about you guys, but I love tuna, and that's what he saw, that's what he shot at, and the fact that we're chumming and we're probably like 200 feet deep, this is prime time territory for some pelagics such as blackfin tuna. So I make a drop, I'm kind of going super slow. You can see him darting around there in the chum. I'm probably dropping down about 70 feet right now. I took a shot, I missed, but I kind of was, you know, it was kind of a hope and a prayer I would hit him. It was kind of tough because he was still darting, still moving, and these fish don't stop. They're like little bumblebees down there. And, you know, if you do get one, it's pretty exciting when you do, especially if they're big, but they usually come in around like 5 pounds. But either way, we're going to still dive, hope to get something more, and keep chumming this area. So we unfortunately had nothing else come into us on that deeper stuff, so we moved in a little bit. We were hitting up this barge in about 80 feet. Now, the current is pumping past here. It's a really small object we're trying to hit, so you really only have one drop, one shot to get down there and make something of the dive. And a good way to telltale that you're getting close is seeing all the bait fish. You saw me see them at the surface. I make a drop, and I kind of make out a shadow off in the distance, and I know that's the wreck. I start heading to it, you'll see those barracudas all over the wreck. Now, I'm not really afraid of barracudas, but this was a little sketchy because they came in hot thinking I was some kind of food source, but luckily they kind of just dispersed, and the drift is perfect for this wreck. Now, Joey goes down all the way to the bottom. He's hunting the bottom. I'm hunting kind of mid-water, calling for some pelagics or maybe a grouper or something will pop out of a hole on the top, and that's just exactly what happens. Not a grouper, but a huge school of yellowjacks, and these are some stud yellowjacks. You can hear me grunting. That kind of made them all kind of come towards us, and I landed a good shot in the fish. You can hear my spear just tinging on the wreck, and I'm trying to keep it off of the wreck. You can see it kind of got a little caught up there, and now I'm kicking as hard as I can to pull that fish away from the wreck. I lock down on my line. I'm not giving him any slack, and I'm just having a tug of war with this guy. But the funny thing is, the other diver saw me and said it was like a stalemate, and I was not going anywhere. So I decided to flip my gun over, and I'm going to have to let some drag out, at least so I can get to the surface, because this was a pretty long dive. But thankfully, divers are coming to help me. One of them grabs the line. That was Joey. He picks up the line, and Jason also grabs me and helps me to the surface.
Thank you, guys. Whew.
All good?
Yeah.
You're struggling.
Oh shit. Yeah. Try to keep it out of the wreck.
Oh yeah.
Now, with teamwork like this, we were really able to make things happen. We could have happened without that many people, but it never hurts to help each other out like that. And Joey goes ahead and puts another backup shot just to lights out stone the fish, and now we know we got him for good. Now, the meat on these things are delicious, but make sure you bleed them. And you know you get them once they start bleeding like that, and you have way less bloodline in the fish. And then also, it's not a bad idea to make sure you brain the fish, make sure they're really dead. And my line kind of tore the stomach out, so I go ahead and gut the fish just to save on ice.
There we go, baby. Woo! go. There we go. On yellow jack. I don't know what's up with me shooting things with the word yellow in the name, but yellow must be my favorite color. Yeah, that was a battle down at depth. Freaking guy was just, I was trying to keep him out of the wreck. Good thing had some good divers with us to help me and help pull me and the fish up. Stoked, man. These are really good eating. They call them butter jacks too because they taste like butter. Yeah, stoked. Yeah, baby. Yes! Get in there! All right, you guys, so we're gonna call it a day. My GoPro died and I didn't get video of these stud African pompanos that I ended up kind of chasing. They kind of came into me. We were kind of like playing a little game. I would go towards them and then they would go away. Then I'd kind of just like lay back. They would kind of like veer towards me, but they just, in the end, they didn't really give me a shot. I could have made a bar shot, maybe like a tail shot, but it wouldn't have been worth it. No sense in wounding the fish, especially if one's that big. But we still got some fish. Stoked on that yellow jack. I'm pumped about this new gun. This thing is prime time, straight carbon fiber, and it's fat by the handle and then it gets skinny towards the end, so it's easy to track through the water. Yeah, amped up on this gun, and the ergonomics of the grip are phenomenal. It sits so nice in your hand. Where you point this thing is where it's going. So yeah, pretty pumped. I'll probably be shooting this quite a bit from now for a while at least, and I might do a comparison between the Rob Allen roller and this gun. But yeah, pretty pumped on the day. All right, so we're cruising in, done diving for the day. I'll see you guys once we get inside. All right, you guys, well, that about does it for the day. Some epic diving. I'm gonna have that yellowtail and I'll show you guys how I cook it when I get home. That is probably one of my top meals. I'm so stoked on that spear gun, man. That thing was a laser out there. If you guys want to get a gun like that, link will be in the description below. Spearfishingexperts.com. Go ahead and check those guys out. I will go ahead and see you guys back at the house. All right, you guys, we're back at my house getting into some whole cooker action. This is the final product. I'm gonna go ahead and score that to where we have these little diamond nuggets. Before I get into that, I'm gonna go ahead and cook up some venison strips, and that'll be for Devin. She's not a huge fan of the whole cooking game. Gonna get into this. I'm gonna show you the aftermath and how I do it all. Went ahead and scored this stuff, and you can see how I just did everything. I just cut it nice and deep, so I'll be able to grab this and just pull it out like a little nugget. I'll stuff it full of some breadcrumbs. Actually, I have coconut flour, and I'm going ahead and mixed in some Southern Palate wild game blend, and I'm gonna actually use that on the fish as well as the venison strips that I'm gonna go ahead and throw in here, shake up, and throw on the pot. Look at that go. Oh baby, that venison's gonna be prime. Oh God, I am skipping steps. So yeah, I went ahead and threw it on. That's what it looks like, and I went ahead and scooped some of the oil and just drizzle it over top, and that's what you get. And then after maybe about 3 minutes, I will flip it, get the other side nice and cooked through. Even if it's a little raw, it'll still kind of cook a little bit as it sits and rests. And then we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna be completely honest, it is not looking that good. It is super burned. Do not use coconut flour. This is what happened. That coconut flour just burnt up super fast. And it's like, I can't even cook it all the way through because literally it's burning. I mean, I turned everything down to try to cook it a little slower, but the flour has already like been torched. I hope it tastes good. We'll see. I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty charred though. So I am not super stoked with the end product, and yes, it is very smoky in here, but this is what we got. That. Super burnt up. But I'm not gonna be super bummed about it. We're gonna have some special sauce, aka ketchup, mayo, and lime juice. So it is not as bad as I thought. Taking some little nugget bites and dipping them in the nice sauce. It's not as burned, and it's still crunchy. Really good. I'm pretty excited how it turned out. Highly recommend cooking the whole fish, especially if you get a chance to clean it, scale it. And it's great because you don't have to go back and fillet anything, which is fantastic. We had the yellow jack, so I had to fillet that as well.
Ate that earlier today. But this stuff is so freaking good. And you don't even taste the skin. You do get the nutrients from it though. So pretty amped up on that. Love this recipe. Shout out Nick Bailey, you know what's up. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you learned a couple things. Awesome little local diving. And like always, I'll see you guys next weekend for another adventure. Later.